Okay, hello. Happy New Year, everyone. All right, welcome back to our first lesson of 2022. Okay, Happy New Year to everyone. And this is January week 1. All right, so we are revising for chapter 5 this year. Okay, hey, 周燕你好，这么你在这边的。Okay, so let's look at our chapter 5. I hope you received your notes already. If you haven't, I posted this in your Google Classroom. You can use it from there because there's some delay, unforeseen circumstances lah. So can everyone can hear me clearly, right? Because I'm not using my earphone today, I'm using my webcam's mic. So my voice is a little bit different. Plus there's a heavy rain here. So you should hear a little bit of background noise. All right, so if you cannot hear me clearly, you let me know. Okay, so we will do chapter 5 this and next week. Okay, and then the remaining 2 weeks, we will do chapter 6 revision. All right, so let's look at our chapter 5, Form 5, chapter 5. This is our carbon compound. If you still remember this chapter, it is quite a long chapter, quite a number of things to memorize, but they are not as hard as you think. All right, so let's look at our 5.1, Introduction to Carbon Compound. Okay, so what's your carbon compound? Anything that is made of carbon, anything that contains carbon, it's called carbon compound. Okay, Sebastian carbon. Okay, so carbon compounds are compound which contains the element carbon. Okay, you know this. So carbon compound, they can either be from living things, we call it organic carbon compound, Sebastian carbon organic, or they can be from non-living things, we in this case call it inorganic. So for example, what are the living things one? Okay, for example, your petroleum, silk, charcoal, sugar, protein, alcohol, fats, these are all from living things. So they are organic carbon compound. And in inorganic, they are all from non-living things like your limestone, okay, your batu kapur, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, calcium carbonate. This thing is your limestone also. So this thing is they are all non-living things, so they are inorganic. All right, so we cannot talk about carbon compound without talking about carbon cycle. Okay, carbon cycle is the cycle of carbon in air. So how does it happen? Okay, there are 3 processes of producing carbon dioxide. Okay, number 1 is respiration. We do it, plants do it. As long as you are a living thing, you will do respiration. Right? Because you breathe, right? Okay, you will burn food to produce energy. That is your respiration. So respiration, they produce carbon dioxide. Next is your decay. When you die, plants die. When living things die, when you decay, when you decompose, you're going to produce carbon dioxide as well. And of course, last but not least, it's going to be your burning, or I like to call it combustion. Okay, combustion. So these 3 processes will churn out carbon dioxide into the air. But there's only one way of removing carbon dioxide, that is by photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis. So now can you see why is this thing in such an imbalance? Because we are chopping down so many trees, photosynthesis is decreasing. We are burning more petrol. We are doing more respiration because we have more human beings around. Okay, overpopulation. That's why you create more carbon dioxide. You remove less carbon dioxide from the air. So when carbon dioxide increase, you have global warming. You have greenhouse effect. This is how pollutions happen. Okay, I'm sure you have learned this thing exhaustively. Okay, in geography, in science, you have learned it like, sir, you can shut up about global warming already. Yeah, I know. Okay, anyway, so these processes, read it yourself lah. Okay, self-explanatory, very simple. Okay, so next, hydrocarbon. Okay, this is one of the most important part. Okay, so what is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is a compound that consists of, as you would have guessed it, carbon and hydrogen. Hydrocarbon what? So hydrogen and carbon. All right, so in this case, that's your fossil fuel. Okay, why is it called fossil fuel? Because it's formed from dead organisms last time. Okay, that's why we call it fossil. So your petroleum, natural gas, and coal, Just a moment, guys. Okay, anyway, your petroleum and natural gas, they are formed in the middle of your sea. Okay, so when your fish and your seaweed, when they die millions of years ago, they very, okay, after years of heat and pressure, okay, you need to know this, pressure and heat. Okay, so they will turn into this thing called crude oil, which is your petroleum, your mentah form of petroleum, right? And coal is from on land. Okay, when land plants, they die millions of years ago, same process, under high heat and pressure, they will turn into coal, which is your arang batu. Okay, so the difference is petroleum and natural gas, they are formed in the ocean. Coal, they are formed on land. That's why you see whenever we extract petroleum from the ground, it's usually in the middle of the ocean, right? You see our Kerteh, Bintulu, Miri, you learn this in geography, right? So the places of Malaysia that produces petrol, they are all in the middle of the ocean, okay, because they are formed there. Whereas coal, you get it from ground, okay, from land. Okay, anyway, so your petroleum has many distillate. This one you need to memorize. Okay, the first layer you will get natural gas, okay, which is your cooking gas. Second layer you get petrol, which is your, you put this thing in your car, okay, and then your naphtha is used to make plastic or pesticide. Okay, so kerosene is for your plane, diesel is for bus, lubricating oil is for your car, fuel, and then you have fuel oil for ship, and then bitumen is for your land. Okay, for your tarmac road. Okay, so there's a way to memorize this. Okay, if you want to use this way, okay, Peter Parker never kissed Diana like Fat Batman. Up to you. Okay, this is just one way of memorizing. Okay, so the lower you go, the dirtier they become. Bitumen is black, natural gas is colorless. The lower you go, the dirtier it becomes. All right, so next, the next one, how do you separate? This is a very simple experiment. So you have your petrol, naphtha, kerosene, and diesel. As you can see, the temperature just keep increasing. Okay, it becomes hotter, hotter, and hotter. It's just like here. You see, this is 30 degrees. This is more than 350 degrees. Okay, not going to spend too much time here. Moving on, let's go to our hydrocarbon. Okay, hydrocarbon, this is one of the major part of this chapter. You have two types of hydrocarbon. Okay, you have two types of hydrocarbon. Hang on. Yes, Adeline, hello. 哎，周末你会来英文 class 的 Okay, anyway, this part is a must memorize for your SPM. Okay, so you have your hydrocarbon compound, seperti hydrocarbon, you have your saturated hydrocarbon tepu and hydrocarbon tak tepu. This one, I for sure, your class is 650. Yeah lah, 650 is Mandarin This is English class. Okay, 你要来 Mandarin 嘛？你可以等一下来的。Okay. Anyway, so this is your tepu and tak tepu. Okay, so the tepu one we call it alkane, the tak tepu one we call it alkene. So this one you know already lah. So why is it called tepu? Tepu means full, saturated means full. That means you cannot add anything anymore. The thing is really full. Like you see, they are all carbon single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond, everything single bond. Okay, remember carbon has 4 hands. Every carbon has 4 hands. You see, carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. Carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. Carbon again 1, 2, 3, 4. Every carbon has 4 hands. It's like that. Don't ask me why that's the way it is. Okay, so if they are full like this, it's called alkane. You see, if you want to add one more hydrogen, can you add? No, it's already full. That's why we call it saturated tepu. Penuh, full. You cannot add some more already. No place to sit already. Whereas this one, there's a double bond here. Can you see? The law still applies. Carbon still has 4 hands. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Still 4 hands. But you see, there are 2 spaces here. 2 spaces here. Okay, 2 more hydrocarbon can come here. Yeah, I can see here. So there's 2 spaces here. That means alkene is not full. That's why it's called unsaturated. Tak tepu. Tak penuh. Not full. So you can still put some more. So this is why we have double bond here. This is all single bond. All single bond. Okay, this is your alkane and your alkene. Very, very, very important. I can almost guarantee you this thing is for sure coming out one. Okay, this thing also applies to your fats. That's why you have unsaturated fat and your saturated fat. Lemak tepu and lemak tak tepu. All right. So next, this is the alkane. Should you memorize this general formula? I would say no. Okay, they are not really that hard either way. This one alkane, you have, can you see this +2 here? +2 because the 2 spaces is taken up by the hydrogen. Here, no +2 because there's 2 more empty space here. Okay, so that's why you have CH4, C2H6, C3H8. So should you memorize all these names? I wouldn't recommend. Okay, it's not worth your time. This thing, I don't think it's coming out. Okay, even if it is, it's going to come out in objective. So is it really worth it? Yeah, sure. If you have extra time, you can memorize this, but nah, I don't really recommend. Okay, so that's the alkene and the alkane. Okay, so next, let's look at alternative energy. Besides using fossil fuel, what can we use to replace fossil fuel? As we know, fossil fuel will run out someday. Okay, we will finish fossil fuel someday. So you can use renewable energy, for example, solar, hydroelectric, geothermal, wind, biomass, tidal, and wave. Hey, hello, this thing, you learn this in geography. I don't know, goddamn how many million times already. So yeah, I'm gonna read, leave it up to you to read this thing. Okay, next, the next family. So now we have learned 2 families already. We have learned about alkane and alkene. So let's look at the 3rd family. That's our alcohol. Okay, I'm sure you know this lah. Okay, so what is alcohol? Alcohol is not a hydrocarbon. These 2 just now, they are hydrocarbon because as you can see, there's only hydrogen and carbon. Hydrogen and carbon. Alcohol is not a hydrocarbon because alcohol has oxygen. It has carbon, it has hydrogen, it has 1 more oxygen. That's why it makes it a little bit different. Alcohol is a little bit different because there's oxygen. Okay, so how do you produce alcohol? The most common process is called fermentation. Penyampaian. Okay, what do? You take glucose, you put yeast, okay, you cover it, don't give it any oxygen, and you wait. Okay, the yeast is going to break down this glucose into alcohol. Okay, because yeast has an enzyme called zymase. Zymase is the enzyme. Okay, so any food that has glucose, you can use it to make alcohol. Like I said, you can use grapes to make wine. Okay, you can use apple to make apple cider. Sugarcane, I'm sure there's a sugarcane alcoholic drink. And then rice, you have rice wine. Wheat, you can use it to make beer. Potato, you can use it to make vodka. Barley, you can use it to make beer or whiskey. You see, as long as you have glucose, you can use it to make alcohol. All right, so this is how it happens. Glucose, you see, without oxygen, there's no oxygen here. I cover the oxygen away. It will straight away turn it into ethanol and carbon dioxide. Okay, ethanol is the alcohol. Okay, this is the ethanol. So what happens here? Can you see this lime water? What is this experiment? This is to prove that fermentation happens because fermentation will produce carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will turn this lime water cloudy. When your lime water changes color from clear to cloudy, that means there is carbon dioxide. That means this thing is happening. This thing is happening. Okay, from clear to cloudy. All right, so how do you purify alcohol? Okay, if you do fermentation, the most you're going to get is 15 to 19%. Alcohol, they cannot be too high because the yeast will die. Okay, funny enough, when you make alcohol, the alcohol can actually kill the yeast. So if you want to make your alcohol to be 80%, you want to make hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is 80% alcohol. So what do? You do purification. Okay, you do something called, I don't like to call this, this is called distillation, by the way. Okay, this is how you make distilled water, right? You still remember. So what do? You cook this thing to 78 degrees, where alcohol will evaporate. Then they will enter this Liebig condenser. They will drop out as clear, pure alcohol. This is how you get pure alcohol. Okay, so next, physical properties of alcohol. This is quite important. Okay, this is, I would say, quite important. Here, let me put a star here. Quite common sense too. Okay, so how is alcohol like? Number one, they are colorless, for sure. That's why your hand sanitizer has no color. And then they are liquid at room temperature. I'm sure your hand sanitizer is liquid. Has a distinctive smell. I'm sure you all know how alcohol smells like, right? When you smell that hand sanitizer, okay, yeah, maybe your hand sanitizer has fragrance. It smells like aloe vera. It smells like lemon. It smells like strawberry, whatever. But after that fragrance is gone, you can smell that alcohol smell. Okay, or you just take an empty beer can, you smell the beer can, that's the alcohol smell, right? So it has a distinctive smell. You will know how alcohol smells like. When someone has been drinking, you will know. Very obviously, you smell the alcohol. Okay, so boiling point increases when its number of carbon atom increases. This one not so important. Solubility decreases as number of carbon atom increase. Also not very important. These are the common ones. Okay, quite common sense if you ask me. Okay, so next one, let's look at the chemical properties of alcohol. So alcohol, how are they like? They will do combustion. Same as alkane and alkene. Alkane, they love burning. Alkene, they love burning too. Same goes to alcohol. Alcohol, they love burning. All these stuff, alkane, alkene, and alcohol, they are fuel. They are bahan api. They mudah terbakar. Okay, they are flammable. So please don't put alkane, any alkane, please don't put near any fire. It's like your petroleum lah. Don't put any alkene near fire. Same goes to your alcohol. Please don't put your alcohol near any heat source unless you have a death wish or something. Okay, never ever put your hand sanitizer in your car. I know it sounds stupid, but hey, some people, they still do it. Okay, if you want your car to light up on flames, then by all means go ahead. Okay, alcohol, they are very flammable. So as you can see, here's the thing. When you burn alcohol, you create this blue color flame. Why is it blue? Blue flame is a clean flame. Okay, they are very clean. They don't produce any soot. That's why alcohol fire is good fire. They don't make your bottom of your container black. Okay, they don't turn your container black, okay, which is a good thing. Okay, so your lime water turns cloudy. Why? Because there's carbon dioxide. Okay, any combustion will produce carbon dioxide. And of course, it changes your dry cobalt chloride paper blue to pink. That means got water. Okay, that means got water. If this thing turns blue to pink, that means there's water. That's moisture. Because combustion produces water. If you still remember, okay, when you burn fuel, okay, you will get carbon dioxide, water, and energy. All combustion will produce water. That's why when you put your hands behind your exhaust pipe, you know, your every morning when your dad starts his car, you put your hand nearby the exhaust pipe, the exhaust stick there, you should feel moisture because every combustion will produce water. Okay, more water, the better, because if your exhaust pipe just sprays out water like that, that means that's a very clean combustion. Your engine is very healthy. Okay, you should see some steam. Okay, so that's the alcohol. Alcohol, they really like burning. Okay, so next one, esterification. This is also very important. Okay, I know I'm saying every part is important, but esterification, it really is. So what is this? This is to make ester. What is ester? Ester is your fragrance. Okay, I'm sure when you buy chewing gum, it is, oh, lemon flavor, strawberry flavor, grape flavor. Those very fragrant flavor comes from ester. So how do you produce ester? Very easy. You take alcohol, okay, alcohol, and you add something called carboxylic acid. Okay, what is carboxylic acid? Basically, it's organic acid lah. In this case, we use ethanoic acid. You add these two, and you add some concentrated sulfuric acid, you should get ethyl ethanoate. You might say, sir, what is this? You don't need to know. Basically, this is your ester. Okay, you should smell a sweet smelling, very fragrant smelling thing. That's your ester lah. So as you can see, you will produce fragrant or sweet smell. Okay, so you think chewing gum, fruit juice, they really so good, they put real fruits inside. You wish lah. Okay, they will just use ester because it's cheap. This thing is really cheap to make. Okay, you know some wet tissue has that fragrant smell, right? You think they really put real flavoring there? No. Okay, you wish. They just put ester. It's cheaper and faster. Okay, so what is this concentrated sulfuric acid? Why do you need to add this? This one they will ask in exam. What's the function of this thing? This is your catalyst. Remember what is catalyst? We learned this in chapter 4. Catalyst is something, it's called permanganate in BM. What is this? This is something added to a chemical reaction to make the chemical reaction faster. Remember, you have your Haber process where you add iron filling, sebut besi. You have your contact process where you add vanadium oxide, okay, vanadium oxide. These two substances, they will make the reaction faster. It's like your enzyme. Without enzyme, can you digest food? Yes, you can, but it's going to be a very slow process. But when you have enzyme, this thing will speed up like 3 times faster. So that's the function of your catalyst. Okay, so without adding this thing, your concentrated sulfuric acid, yes, this thing can happen too. It's going to be very slow, painfully slow. So why make it slow when we can make it fast? Right? So that's your catalyst. Okay, so that's your ester. Okay, so that's your ester. So let's look at the use of alcohol in daily life. As I said, alcohol is a very good fuel. Okay, this one, let me give you some extra knowledge. Okay, next time, if you have the money to get a supercar, okay, what's a supercar? Let's say you're rich enough, you want a very expensive car. Let's say you want a Lamborghini. Okay, you are so goddamn rich, you earn 100 million per year. You say, I really want a very nice car. Let me just use 3 million and get a supercar because money is no issue to you. Okay, if you get a supercar, there are only 2 fuel you can use. Number one, you can either use RON 100. You know, it's RON 100. Okay, when your dad goes to petrol station, I'm sure he pumps 95. The yellow color nozzle, the yellow color gun, that's the cheap fuel. Okay, normal people like us, we use the cheap one, okay, the yellow color one. If you see the green one, that is 97. Okay, that is the premium, we call it premium fuel. And then if you go to some petrol, you will see the silver, not the black one, black is diesel. You will see the silver color gun there, that is RON 100. That is pure petrol. That is for supercar one. If you drive a Ferrari, you need to use that. You cannot use 95. Cheap fuel will spoil your engine. That's rich people's problem. Okay, if you say, sir, is there any better fuel than RON 100? Yes, there is. It's called alcohol. Okay, it's called ethanol 85, E85. This thing is very expensive. It's only for supercar. We cannot afford one. Okay, one full tank will easily cost you 300-400 ringgit. Would you use 300-400 ringgit to pump one tank of petrol? No, you wouldn't. But for people who drive a Ferrari, hey, that's like small change to them. Okay, so that's you can use it as a fuel. Okay, so that means your hand sanitizer is actually a fuel. Now, can you see how dangerous it is? You don't put hand sanitizer in your car. Okay, basically you are putting fuel under the sun. If you want, like I said, if you want your car to catch up in flames, then go ahead. So it is a good fuel because organic carbon compound is high. Okay, it is highly flammable. Okay, it produces a blue flame. Okay, that means the combustion is clean and complete. Okay, pembakaran yang sempurna. That's why you get this blue flame. Your mom cooks with a blue flame. I'm sure your mom doesn't cook with a yellow flame. If your stove is yellow flame, that means your stove rosa already. You have to throw it away. You have to get a new stove. You have to get a blue flame stove, right? Okay, so it is a fuel. Next, it is a medicine. It is an antiseptic. What's the difference between antiseptic and disinfectant? Antiseptic, you can put it on the skin. Disinfectant, you cannot put it on your skin. For example, bleach, pelunto. You use bleach to wash your clothes. Can you put it on your skin? Of course you can't. But antiseptic, you can. So if you accidentally cut yourself, okay, here's the thing. If you cut yourself, the proper medicine to put on it should be acryflavine, which is the yellow color. I'm sure you fall down in your school before, right? If you cut yourself in school, your teacher will bring you to the pejabat and then she will apply some yellow color medicine on your wound. That's the proper way. If you are out there, there's no way for you to get this yellow color medicine. You have only hand sanitizer. I'm sorry, that's the way. You have to put hand sanitizer on it. It's gonna hurt like hell. Okay, because alcohol on wound, it burns like hell. But hey, at least you keep your wound healthy, you won't get bacterial infection. Okay, so that's an antiseptic. Okay, it's used as a solvent for various types of medicine as well. Next, cosmetic, used as solvent for various cosmetics such as perfume, lotion, and lipstick. Okay, even your skin toner has alcohol. Okay, because they evaporate very quickly. You see, why some lotion they can dry so quickly? Because they use alcohol. Alcohol can dry very quickly. That's why some lotion, it dries very quickly. It also makes your skin dry. Not a good thing lah, because they evaporate very quickly. Okay, next, industry used as a solvent. Okay, so to dissolve liquid cleaner, food processing, cosmetic, paint, okay, even ethanol. What is this? This is your antifreeze. Antifreeze is the coolant you put in your car. You ask your father, he will know. Okay, you don't just add water in your car. You need to add a kind of pink color or red color fluid into your car. That's what we call the antifreeze. Okay, so excessive alcohol consumption. What happens when you drink too much alcohol? This one is more towards, I think you learned this in Form 4 already, okay, in the drug chapter. So you will cause addiction. Okay, it slows down your reaction time, causes dangerous driving. Okay, fetal alcohol syndrome, that's when your baby is poisoned by alcohol. Okay, small size head and brain, abnormal face and stunted growth. That's why pregnant women shouldn't consume any alcohol. All right, so what does it affect? It affects your brain, damages your brain cell, disrupt body balance. Okay, because basically, if you remember, alcohol is a depressant. Okay, what is depressant? Depressant is the opposite of stimulant. Coffee is a stimulant. Coffee makes you awake. So depressant makes you sleep. Alcohol makes you sleep. Okay, so it slows your body down. So when they slow your brain down, of course, your brain gets very blurry and sleepy lah. Okay, that's why you see body balance and difficulty in estimating distance. Basically, you are sleepy. Okay, you are sedating your brain. Okay, your eyes, blood vision, increased rate of breathing should be decreased, not increased. Okay, there must be an error here. Heart also decreased, should be decreased rate of breathing. Okay, should be low blood pressure. Please change this. Should be decreased. Okay, decrease, and low. This is how alcohol poisoning kills you. If you drink too much alcohol, your heartbeat will be so slow, it will just stop beating. That is alcohol poisoning. Okay, you can die. Okay, I mean, obviously, it is a drug. So stomach, okay, it can cause bleeding and ulcer. Liver, okay, focus on liver, please. Because alcohol is detox in the liver. So if you drink a lot of alcohol, your liver is taking the beating because your liver needs to get rid of that alcohol. So you will get cirrhosis. Basically, that's the hardening of your liver. Okay, cirrhosis hati, that's the pengerasan of your hati. Your liver becomes hardened. And if you keep drinking some more, you will get liver cancer. Okay, it turns into liver cancer. And of course, kidney damages your kidney. Frequent urination. When you drink beer, you pee a lot. Ask your dad, you will know. Okay, so this is nothing related. This is related to your chapter 6 or 7 in Form 4. Okay, you learned this thing already. All right, the rest I'll leave it for next week lah. So let's go to our exercise. Okay, I know I'm a bit rushing lah because I am. So let's look at our question 1. So diagram below shows an experiment conducted in a science laboratory. So when you see glucose when you see yeast, obviously this is fermentation. This question looks really familiar though. We have done this, right? If I'm not mistaken, we have. It's really familiar. Okay, so that's your conical flask, by the way. That's your lime water. Can you see bubbles here? That's your carbon dioxide lah. So name the process. This is your fermentation. Okay, penapayan. All right, that's how you make alcohol. So B, what is the product from the above experiment? You will get ethanol and carbon dioxide. Okay, ethanol dan carbon dioxide. Okay, here's the thing. You may say, sir, can I write alcohol? Can I write alcohol? Try not to, because alcohol is the whole family. You have many, many types of alcohol. The only alcohol that we can drink, is ethanol. You cannot drink others. Okay, ethanol is the only one. Okay, if you buy those cheap beer, non-licensed beer, those cheap ones, they actually contain other alcohol inside, which can actually kill you. I'm not even joking. You will get alcohol poisoning. Okay, do you know your printer ink? You have a printer at home, right? Your printer ink also has alcohol inside. Does it mean you can drink the alcohol? No. Your printer ink is made from methanol. Methanol is a poison. Okay, so you don't think that, I have no money for beer, I'll drink my printer ink instead. Yeah, sure, go ahead. That will be your last drink. You will die of methanol poisoning. Okay, so just because they belong to the same family doesn't make them the same. Methanol is very poisonous. Ethanol is not so poisonous if you don't drink it in a large amount. Okay, 1 or 2 beer is okay. All right, so that's your product. So what is the observation on the lime water? When you have carbon dioxide, your lime water will turn cloudy. Okay, keruh. In English, there's 3 words. You can use cloudy, you can use milky, you can use chalky. Whatever, it's the same meaning. It looks dirty. Okay, it looks like there's white bits of stuff inside. Cloudy, milky, chalky, whatever. Some books they write milky, some books they write cloudy. Whatever, same thing. So D, write the word equation. So that would be your glucose. Arrow. That's your zymase. Zymase is the enzyme. It will turn into ethanol and carbon dioxide. If you forgot this zymase, never mind, you can write yeast also. Okay, you can write yeast lah. So ethanol plus carbon dioxide. No oxygen, that's why to ferment stuff, you always cover. Please don't open it, because if you open it, yeast is going to do respiration. Your yeast will burn away all your glucose to produce carbon dioxide and water. You're wasting it. No, that's why you cover it. That's why all fermentation, they cover their, let's say you are a wine maker, you are a beer maker, you are a brewery. So what do? You cover all your fermentation underground. Okay, you wait for maybe 10 years, you produce wine. Okay, the longer you put it there, the more so-called flavorful alcohol you produce. That's why those 100-something years wine, they can sell like a few $1,000 a bottle. Okay, because they ferment there for hundreds of years already. Okay, so E, give one example that can replace the glucose solution. So what can you replace glucose solution with? You can use apple juice. Okay, anything that has sugar, you can use apple juice. You can use, what else? You want to use orange juice, you can, but I've never drank orange alcohol before. Okay, it's a recipe. Okay, that's why you see, you know, apple cider, right? Apple cider is made from apple juice. They ferment the apple juice and then you get alcohol. So that's why you have many, many brands of alcohol, because each of them has their own recipe and formula that people really like. That's why even beer has like many, many brands, because they all taste different. They have their own recipe of fermentation. So F, state one use of the product stated in D in daily life. So what's the product of this? Oh, they only one product, right? they don't want products, so we can actually don't write the carbon dioxide. So what's the use of alcohol? It is a fuel. Okay, bahan api. You can use it in to dissolve medicine. Okay, melarutkan ubat. Whatever. There are plenty of answers here. I'm just giving you two. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Number 2, diagram below shows an experiment to study fermentation of glucose. Like I said, fermentation is always coming out in exam. So as you can see, I put glucose and distilled water. Okay, so is there any fermentation here? No. You are only putting water, whereas this one, I put yeast. Then yes, this one got fermentation. So any change in this lime water, you wouldn't see anything, because if there's no fermentation, there will be no carbon dioxide. Okay, no carbon dioxide. Whereas this case, you have carbon dioxide, this thing will turn cloudy or milky, chalky, whatever. So what can be observed at the end of the experiment? Okay, so there's 2 experiments here, right? Lime water of the first has no change. For the second, turns cloudy. Okay, air kapur pertama, tiada perubahan. Kedua menjadi keruh. Okay, so this one becomes no change. This one becomes dirty. Okay, you will see bits and bits of white color stuff inside. That means there's fermentation. Okay, next one. State one inference for your answer. Inference means explain. Explain what you see. So why? Okay, so you can say no fermentation. Oh, don't say fermentation. Let's just say carbon dioxide. Okay, so no carbon dioxide produced in first, carbon dioxide produced in second. Okay, tiada karbon dioksida dihasilkan di eksperimen pertama. The remaining you write yourself lah. Carbon dioksida dihasilkan di eksperimen kedua. Okay, so no carbon dioxide, got carbon dioxide. Tiada carbon dioksida, other carbon dioksida. Okay, if you want to write fermentation, can. Fermentation takes place here. Doesn't take place here. Fermentation takes place here. Yes, can. Okay, but I would use carbon dioxide as my keyword, because at the end of the day, lime water is to test carbon dioxide. So I would use carbon dioxide as my first answer. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So B, state one manipulated variable for the experiment. So MV, what are you trying to control? So you can say presence of yeast. Okay, presence of yeast. Kehadiran yeast. So C, state the operational definition of fermentation. Okay, if they are asking for definition of something, write that something first. They are asking for definition for fermentation. So you write fermentation first. What is fermentation? Fermentation is, you start here. Okay, penyampaian ialah. Okay, so what is it? Is it a thing? Is it a process? Is it a step? Is it, what is it? Okay, fermentation is a process, right? It is something that happens. Okay, so fermentation is a process. Okay, penyampaian ialah suatu proses. Okay, so what is this process? How should we write this definition? Like I said, I've said this million times already. Operational definition means you write your definition based on what you see, based on your observation. So what is your observation? Okay, what is your observation? Observation is when there is no fermentation, there is no carbon dioxide. Okay, lime water, the observation is the lime water. When there's no fermentation, lime water doesn't turn cloudy. When there is fermentation, lime water turns cloudy. So it is a process that makes lime water cloudy. That's what you see, right? Okay, so fermentation is a process that turns lime water cloudy. Okay, adalah suatu proses yang menukarkan air kapur menjadi keruh. It turns it cloudy. That's the process. Okay, let me repeat this again. Operational definition is based on what you see. Okay, if you cannot answer a question like this, it's okay. It's only 1 mark. So don't stress. Okay, it's fine. All right, so how do you write this again? Write down the word they want. What is it? Is it a thing? Is it a process? What is it? Write down what is it, and then the behind should be your observation. Okay, turns lime water cloudy. You see, lime water turns cloudy. That's your observation based on what you see. Okay, so take at the food that can be used to replace glucose solution. You can use pineapple juice because this is the only one that has sugar, that has glucose. Salt, no glucose. Egg white, no glucose. Then don't add, you cannot replace. Egg white is protein, in fact. Okay, next, section B. Enough of this experimenting. So number 3, match the following carbon compound with their examples. Organic is going to be your sugar, ethanol, palm oil, coal, arang batu, cotton. These are all from living things. Cotton comes from a tree. So inorganic is going to be a carbon dioxide, calcium carbonate, hydrogen carbonate, carbon monoxide, and your zinc carbonate. You think they will give you 10 marks for this? No. So don't worry, they won't ask things like this in the exam. Okay, moving on. The following shows a carbon cycle. Okay, so plants, you see, there's 3 processes of producing carbon dioxide. So what is it? Plants will produce P. This is your respiration. Okay, respirasi. Plants will also do respiration. At night, they will do respiration. So R, same thing, same answer. Q, when you remove carbon dioxide, that is photosynthesis. Okay, so how about S? What will bacteria do? This is your decaying. Okay, perebutan. Okay, should be very simple here. Okay, next, number 4. Hydrocarbon is an organic compound consisting entirely of carbon and hydrogen. Okay, we just studied this. Diagram below shows 2 examples of hydrocarbon compound. You see all single bond. What is this? This is your saturated tebu. You see double bond, there's 2 more space. So this is unsaturated, tak tebu. Okay, this is very easy. So what is meant by homologous series? Okay, I didn't say this just now. Homologous series is the family. Like I said just now, alcohol is a family. Right? Alcohol is a family. Alkane is a family. Alkene is a family. So these three family, and even I said just now the organic acid, this is another family. So this one family is called homologous series because in one family you have many members. You have many types of alkane. You have many types of alkene. And as I said, you have many types of alcohol. Only ethanol we can drink. Okay, in that homologous series, only ethanol can be drunk. Others, no. They are all poison. I mean, you can drink, you can try. Okay, so what is homologous series? Okay, it is a group of organic compound that has the same characteristics. Okay, sekumpulan sebatian organik yang mempunyai ciri yang sama. Okay, that means in one family like here I don't care whether it's methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane. Yes, they are different, but they have the same properties. They all burn very bright. Okay, they are all very flammable. Maybe, okay, yes, methane is more flammable compared to the other 5. But they are all flammable. They have the same characteristic. It's just like your periodic table. As long as you're in the same group, you have the same characteristic. Everyone in group 1, they are all very reactive. Everyone in group 17 is very reactive. Everyone in group 18, they are all not reactive. You get the point. Okay, so that's your homologous series. Okay, it's called series homolog in BM. Series homolog. That means a family. You might say, sir, why don't you just call it a group? You see, some scientists, they don't like it one. Because in periodic table, they already use group. So here they use group, somehow it's like repeating. So they just make another name, homologous series. Wow, you see? So fancy. Okay, next, B. Based on diagram above, what is the homologous series of hydrocarbon P and Q? So what is this series? What is this? What family does it belong to? So P is alkane lah. Okay, in BM is alkana, right? And then for Q is alkene. Okay, when you see double bond, it's for sure alkene. I don't care it's 1 double bond, 2 double bond, 3 double bond. As long as there is a double bond, it is for sure an alkene. Okay, alkena. So name hydrocarbon P and Q. Okay, they won't ask this in exam, so I'm going to put a cross here. I'll still give you the answer. P is butane. Q is ethene. Okay, so why? Because you see, how many carbon is here? This is 4 carbon. 4 carbon is called butane. Can you see 4 carbon? You might say, wow, sir, how do you know? I have studied organic chemistry for 10 years. Okay, so that's why I know. Should you memorize this? Like I said, if you have the time, go and memorize. I'm not stopping you. But if you don't have the time, you have other things to focus, trust me, don't focus here. Okay, it's like memorizing years in sejarah. Should you memorize years in sejarah? Yes, there's only 2 years you should memorize. One is 1957, formation of Malaya. Number 2 is 1960. What again? 3 or 5? That's your Malaysia Day. That's all. That's the 2 dates you need. Other than that, no. Okay, you don't need to know this Perjanjian sign when, that Perjanjian sign which date. No, no. Okay, I mean, you have the time, you can memorize lah. Not stopping you. Same thing here. Okay, this thing is not important. Okay, for science student, for chemistry student, yes. For you, no, not so much. Okay, so number 3, state 2 difference between hydrocarbon P and Q. So what's the 2 difference? Okay, so I can see, I'm just gonna draw it like this lah. Okay, P and Q. Please don't do it this way in exam. I'm just making it simple for you. Okay, so P, it's all single bond. Okay, ikatan tunggal. This is all double bond. Okay, ikatan berkembar. Is it berkembang or ganda dua? I'm not sure. Okay, double bond lah. Okay, you get what I mean. So next you can say maximum number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, nombor atom hydrogen yang maximum. Okay, because you cannot add any more. Whereas Q, it is not maximum of hydrogen atom. Okay, finish this yourself. Nombor atom hydrogen yang bukan maximum. Okay, or you can say more hydrogen atoms can be added. Okay, lebih atom hydrogen boleh ditambah. Because you see, there's 2 more space here. Yeah, there's 2 more space here. It's not maximum. Okay, you can add some more. Here, no more. Full already. Every place is taken. There's no more place here. Okay, moving on. Number 5, again, you have alcohol. You see, how common is alcohol? Let me tell you lah, sometimes even my students study alkane and alkene, not even one question coming out. They are all alcohol. So you see how important alcohol is. So you see glucose, you have your zymase, like I said, that's your enzyme produced by your yeast, your ethanol, carbon dioxide. Name the process. Aduh, same question. That's your fermentation. Okay, penyampaian. State the elements present in alcohol. Okay, alcohol has CHO. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Have you realized something? Carbohydrate is the same thing. Fats is the same thing. When you learn carbohydrate and fats in Form 2, I'm sure your teacher told you this. Carbohydrate has carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Fats has carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Right? Because alcohol is made from carbohydrate lah. Glucose is carbohydrate what? Okay, glucose is carbohydrate what? Basically, when you are drinking beer, when you are drinking alcohol, you are drinking carbohydrate. Okay? Do you think beer and soft drink is different? No, they are not. Okay, just because beer is not sweet doesn't make it healthier. Okay, many people have this stupid thinking, oh, I don't want to drink soft drink. Soft drink is sweet, it's gonna make you diabetes. You think you drink beer, you won't get diabetes. Same thing one. It's carbohydrate also. Okay, that's why when you drink beer, you drink a lot, you'll get a beer belly. They call it the dad bod lah. Wow, very sexy. Dad bod, very sexy. Got tummy means very sexy, very manly. No, it is not. Okay, you're just fat. Stop glorifying obesity. Okay, it's the same. When you drink 10 Coca-Cola every day, when you get that tummy, it's the same as you drinking 10 beer and get a tummy. Same. Okay, you see, people very funny one. I drink 3 Coca-Cola every day. Oh my God, you're so unhealthy. I drink 3 beer every day. Oh, okay, you're quite healthy. How is it any different? It is not. It's the same. It's sugar. Just because it's not sweet doesn't mean there's no sugar. It's the same. Okay, you see, this is wrong mindset. Okay, so see, one of the usage of alcohol in daily life as a fuel. State one characteristic of fuel that uses alcohol as a source and advantage over fossil fuel. Okay, so characteristic of fuel of alcohol. So it burns with blue flame. Okay, membakar dengan api biru. So what's the advantage? Cleaner combustion. Okay, pembakaran lebih bersih or lebih sempurna. Okay, more complete combustion. Can, no problem. All right, so D, consumption of alcohol while drinking vehicle is strongly discouraged. State the effect on a person who is driving under the influence of alcohol. Okay, he is unable to judge distance accurately. Okay, tidak mampu menentukan jarak dengan tepat. So you will lead to road accidents. Okay, menyebabkan kemalangan. They call it DUI lah. Okay, DUI. If you are arrested, I mean in the US, it is quite common for celebrities to be arrested under the charge of DUI. When you see, okay, Justin Bieber kena before what? Okay, Justin Bieber arrested under DUI. That means driving under influence. Either you're under certain drugs or under alcohol. That's DUI. Okay, so 6, combustion of ethanol. So that's you should get blue flame here. So state the color of the flame, blue. Okay, biru. Complete the following word equation. Ethanol plus oxygen. So same as your normal combustion, you get carbon dioxide and water. Complete spelling, please, in exam. I'm just too lazy. Okay, of course you get energy here. Okay, you get energy. You get heat energy. Same goes to your glucose, right? When you eat glucose in your body, okay, you get oxygen, you get carbon dioxide and water as well, right? So combustion and respiration, they are somehow the same. It's just that they use different fuel. Combustion uses fuel, okay, whereas respiration mostly uses carbohydrate. So C, is ethanol a good fuel? Justify your answer. Yes. Why? Because it burns clean or completely. Okay, ia membakar dengan bersih or sempurna. Okay, so D, name the process in which ethanol reacts with organic acid. So when you have alcohol and acid add together, you get that sweet smelling smell. What's the process called? That's your esterification. Okay, esterifikasi. The process of making ester is called esterification. Simple. Okay, so this is your ester. Okay, you can go home and do this yourself. I think I'm gonna stop here. All right, so I'll continue with this next week lah. I don't think I can finish this today. Wow, so many alcohol. This is the last question. Okay, next week we'll go into soap. Okay, next week we shall finish the revision for chapter 5. Okay, so what else is remaining? What else is remaining? We have your fats. Okay, we have your fats, health problem, palm oil, and yes, of course, our soap. This is the last part. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. Okay, so thanks for coming. I will see you again next week. So if you're coming back for physical, then I'll see you physically lah. If you're not, then we will still see each other online. All right, so stay safe. I will see you next week. Okay, thanks for coming. Okay, have a good night and bye-bye.